Hello everyone, welcome to Tech with Machines. Today's topic is our first DAG in Apache Airflow. This is going to be the second video of our Apache Airflow series, and we are going to create our first Python DAG and schedule it with Airflow. Also, visualize it as a DAG with Airflow Web UI. So this particular video is going to also talk about how you can install Apache Airflow. It's just 3-step process, and how can you create your first DAG. So for today's DAG, we are going to create, let's say, John's DAG. John is a rocket enthusiast who likes to track upcoming rocket launches and would like to get notified about the images of those rockets. So that's what our objective is going to be. For this, we are going to use a launch library. There is a free open source API called spacedevs.com, which actually is providing these trackers, rocket upcoming launches trackers, and we can call that API calling it in a limited way and not getting rate limited, and download the images and then finally notify. So basically the workflow looks like this, that he's going to call the launch library, he's going to download the response which is coming from that curl, and finally iterate through that response and through internet download the images, save it, and then notify. So this is how the workflow looks like. But what does this workflow translate really in Apache Airflow? It does translate into 3 tasks majorly: download the launches, get the images, and then notify that the task is completed. And this is the way, or this is the sequence of the task it's going to be. So get images is dependent on download launches, and notify is dependent on get images. So without any further delay, let's dig deeper into the code. So let's go through this code and line by line. I have already written it, the multiple tasks which we are doing here. I have written the code, but we'll just dissect this code step by step. So the first starting point of any Airflow DAG is a DAG object, and this DAG object is then passed as a reference to all the tasks. This allows Airflow to understand which tasks are related to the DAG, right? Also, another thing which you can see here are that these tasks dependencies is actually identified by this binary right shift operator. So basically Airflow uses binary right shift operator to identify or to define the dependency between 2 tasks. So here download launches, get pictures is dependent on download launches, and notify is dependent on get pictures, right? And DAG as a object has basically, here you can see that we are passing 3 arguments, one being DAG ID, which is nothing but name of the DAG which you want to keep so that it shows in the Airflow web UI server. Second is the start date, the date at which you want your DAG to start running. I have given prior date, so you can give the previous date as well. And here in this case, schedule interval, which means basically at what time or how you want to schedule it in general, right? So how often DAG should run, and what really how you want to automate your DAG, right? So in this case we have given none because we are going to manually run it from the Airflow web UI. So as our first task, what we are doing is, as a bash operator, we are downloading the response of this particular API as in the temp folder as launches.json using a bash command. The task also has a task ID, the name of the task which you want to see represented in the Airflow web UI, and DAG is being passed as a reference. The other one is the Python operator. After having this JSON file, what we're trying to do is calling this get pictures as a function. We're trying to collect all the image URLs from this JSON, and finally download all the images and put them into this particular directory with the file name, image file name. And last but not the least, we are updating by saying that these many images have been downloaded in that particular directory, right? So all of this is okay, that we have created Airflow DAG, but if you see here, we are using an Airflow package. So from where this really came from? So this came from a requirement.txt where we have defined the dependency called Apache Airflow, and we have installed this package. So you can do pip install Apache-Airflow as well, and that's where you can install Airflow. Now there are multiple ways to run Airflow or to start Airflow, one being using the Airflow package and then initializing that manually, or running it with some bash commands within the Docker container itself. Like in this case, first thing which you will do is you will initialize the Airflow database, which will create so as a first step, you will basically create Airflow DB init. It's going to create an SQLite database in your local, and it will also show you the home directory, right? So once you do that, in my home directory, you will have to copy the DAGs folder. So what I have done is I have actually copied the DAGs folder under Airflow home directory. So if you see here, I have my DAG file in this AirflowDag directory. As a third step, you also create an admin user and password with Airflow users create. So let's see that command which I have in the history. So as you can see, you can actually create the username and password because I have already run it. So it is gonna throw an error or say that this admin user already exists. So just I'm showing the commands which you can run to start the Airflow. And finally, we are gonna start with the two main components of Airflow, one being Airflow webserver, another being Airflow scheduler. So I have two terminals open. I can also run them in the backend, but I would like to run them individually. So let's run Airflow webserver as one and Airflow scheduler in the other one, right? So here I'm going to run Airflow scheduler and here I'm running Airflow webserver. Now the web UI looks like, so let me go to the DAGs directory and I have one of the DAGs running here, download rocket launches. So this is the beginning of the Airflow web UI, how it looks like. Let me click on this and this is going to show me the grid view of this DAG, which has 3 steps. I tried to run initially and my second step failed. As you can see, failed. It's a Python operator just showing you. You can run it, you can again clear it if you want, or you can mark it success and failed. That's how you can do. This is a graph representation of the particular DAG. Then you have also code rendered here which you have actually written, so you can see that code here, and every time you refresh or you make any changes, you can actually go and see visibly in this UI. So it's very handy UI and you can actually go through all of these things in this UI directly. It's very user friendly. Now these are the 3 tasks which I ran, and all 3 tasks, if you can see, are successful. The first one being the download launches. It actually downloaded for me all the curl commands, and then the second one was this Python operator which downloaded the images, and the third one was the bash command to notify, right? If I want to schedule it, then I can schedule it. You can see here how many times it ran, how much time it took, and what is the DAG count I have, right? So also, if you want to run the DAG manually, then you can trigger the DAG here, or if you want to trigger the DAG without configuration, you can do that here as well. In general, if you want to really schedule it, then you basically go to the code and make the schedule interval changed and again copy the DAG into the DAG folder, and so that the changes are reflective in this web UI. So this is all about how Airflow DAG is created, how it is being run, and how you can visualize that in the UI. That's it for today. Thank you so much, and I hope you liked this video, and I hope there was something to learn today. Thank you.